This is just one more reason as to why us patriotic Americans supported and voted for Donald J. Trump. Since typical politicians and the United Nations have proven themselves inefficient when it comes to protecting human rights, President Trump has taken it upon himself to be the tip of the sword in this battle by declaring a national emergency for the United States and the world. Letter to Congress. To the Congress of the United States, pursuant to the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, as amended, 50 U.S.C. 1701 etc., I.E.P.A., I hereby report that I have issued the enclosed executive order, the order, declaring a national emergency with respect to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the national security, foreign policy, and economy of the United States posed by serious human rights abuse and corruption around the world. In addition to taking action under IEPA, the order implements the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act, Public Law 114-328, the Act, and delegates certain of its authorities. The order blocks the property and interests and property of persons listed in the annex to the order. It also blocks the property and interests and property of any foreign person determined by the Secretary of the Treasury, in consultation with the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, 1, to be responsible for or complicit in, or to have directly or indirectly engaged in, serious human rights abuse, 2, to be a current or former government official, or a person acting for or on behalf of such an official, who is responsible for or complicit in, or has directly or indirectly engaged in, a. corruption, including the misappropriation of state assets, the expropriation of private assets for personal gain, corruption related to government contracts or the extraction of natural resources, or bribery, or b. the transfer or the facilitation of the transfer of the proceeds of corruption, 3. to be or have been a leader or official of a. an entity, including any government entity, that has engaged in, or whose members have engaged in, any of the activities described in 1, 2a, or 2b, above relating to the leader's or official's tenure, or b. an entity whose property and interests and property are blocked pursuant to the order as a result of activities related to the leader's or the official's tenure, or 4. to have attempted to engage in any of the activities described in 1, 2a, or 2b, above. The order also blocks any person determined by the Secretary of the Treasury, in consultation with the Secretary of State and the Attorney General, 5, to have materially assisted, sponsored, or provided financial, material, or technological support for, or goods or services to or in support of, a. any activity described in 1, 2a, or 2b, above that is conducted by a foreign person, b. any person whose property and interests and property are blocked pursuant to the order, or c. any entity described in 3a, above where the activity is conducted by a foreign person, 6. to be owned or controlled by, or to have acted or purported to act for or on behalf of, directly or indirectly, any person whose property and interests and property are blocked pursuant to the order, or 7. to have attempted to engage in any of the activities described in 5, or 6, above. In addition, the order suspends entry into the United States of any alien listed in the annex or determined to meet one or more of the criteria above. I have delegated to the Secretary of the Treasury the authority, in consultation with the Secretary of State, to take such actions, including adopting rules and regulations, and to employ all powers granted to the President by IEPA and the Act, as may be necessary to implement the order and relevant provisions of the Act. I have delegated to the Secretary of State the authority to take such actions, including adopting rules and regulations, and to employ all powers granted to the President by IEPA and the Act, as may be necessary to implement the provisions of the order and the Act suspending entry into the United States of certain aliens. All executive departments and agencies are directed to take all appropriate measures within their authority to implement the order. Donald J. Trump, The White House, December 20, 2017. The president followed the above letter by signing a new executive order which declared a national emergency. This executive order basically gives law enforcement, and any U.S. person who comes into contact with the property or interests of the individuals he lists in an attached annex, to block and prevent the transfer of the property or interests of that said individual. The persons that he is directing the order against are, 1. Mukhtar Hamid Shah, date of birth, DOB, August 11, 1939, Alt. DOB November 8, 1939, nationality, Pakistan. 2. Angel Rondon Raijo, DOB July 16, 1950, nationality, Dominican Republic. 3. Dan Gertler, DOB December 23, 1973, nationality, Israel, Alt. Nationality, Democratic Republic of the Congo. 4. Muang Muang So, DOB March 1964, nationality, Burma. 5. Yahya Jammeh, DOB May 25, 1965, nationality, The Gambia. 6. Sergei Kuzik, DOB December 1, 1966, nationality, Ukraine, Alt. Nationality, Russia. 7. Benjamin Balmal, DOB January 3, 1978, Alt. DOB December 24, 1978, nationality, South Sudan, Alt. Nationality, Sudan. 8. Julio Antonio Juarez Ramirez, DOB December 1, 1980, nationality, Guatemala. 9. Gulnora Islam of Nakarimova, DOB July 8, 1972, nationality, Uzbekistan. 10. Slobodan Tazik, DOB December 21, 1958, nationality, Serbia. 11. Artemir Ievich Sheka, DOB September 25, 1975, nationality, Russia. 12. Jiao Yan, DOB April 1963, nationality, China. 13. Roberto Jose Rivas Reyes, DOB July 6, 1954, nationality, Nicaragua. This is to be one of the most important moves a president has ever done in our history. This shows the days of the elite getting away with murder while common folk suffer are over. He is actually calling out people by name and putting them on notice that whatever they think it's okay to do in the cesspool they are from is not okay here. The U.S. will not stand for it. I guess this is what he meant when he referred to these people as bad hombres during the hard-fought presidential campaign. All that can be said about this is that it was long past due. The world needs a major cleanup and we finally have the man who wants to do it. Not even Reagan wanted to take world corruption on and beat it to a pulp. I just hope and pray our president is well guarded because all these people on the list aren't Boy Scouts and they will stop at nothing to avoid losing their power. Please share and pray for our president. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.